Ladies and gentlemen, the Diablo 4 beta weekend is about here. March 17th looks like it's going to be the start, and the Hell Gates are going to be opening. Now, let's talk about a couple things, including the classes, some of the Q&A questions, and everything you're really going to need to know to be ready for the Diablo 4 beta. So first and foremost, if you want to play on the 17th, which is the earliest possible access to the beta, you're going to need to buy your way in. Now, there are two ways to buy your way in. You can pre-order the game. That's the obvious one. You can also, and I'm not joking with you here, you can order a KFC Double Down sandwich, which will literally give you early beta access code to the game itself. Now, once you're in the actual game, it's time to choose your class. Now, on the 17th, the first weekend, and it's only on the weekends. The beta is on the 17th weekend, then the next weekend it will be there as well. The first weekend, there's only 3 classes available. You have Sorcerer, you have a Barbarian, and you have a Rogue, okay? So for me, personally, I'm going to be playing the Rogue come the first launch, because I think the Rogue sounds the most interesting out of those 3. It's supposed to have subterfuge, traps, invisibility, basically all of the things you're going to expect out of the Rogue class. It's also the closest thing to a Demon Hunter. So if you're familiar with Demon Hunter, that would be the class for you. Barbarian and Sorcerer will follow very much the staple Diablo experience. Sorcerer will have meteorites that will come crashing down. You have the beams, all the standard stuff, okay, that you have there. Barbarian obviously is going to have shouts, dive in, and also the armor looks really good on Barbarian too. So for the first weekend, I'll be playing Rogue. Then the next weekend is coming up, and this is the open beta. So you don't have to buy your way into the early access on this one. And for this open beta, you have access to 2 more additional classes as well as the previous 3. They will be adding on the Necromancer and the Druid as well. So if you're interested in playing the OG Necromancer class, or if you want to play the Druid, it's going to be a little different than it was in Diablo 2, but if you're wanting to play the Druid, that will be on the next weekend. Now, keep in mind, if you're going to play both weekends, you want to at least get 1 character to level 20. So maybe you want to play the first weekend, get to level 20 on some class just so you have it out of the way. So if you run out of time on the next class, on the next weekend, you have that level 20. And you might be wondering why. If you hit level 20 during the beta, you will receive this right here, which is the Beta Wolf Pack. This is actually a cosmetic only that will go on your back like a backpack, and it's going to have a little puppy wolf in there it looks like a great meme. So for that reason, the first weekend, focus on at least hitting level 20. That way it's out of the way, and you can test out the other classes if you want to coming the next weekend. Common question is, what about crossplay? Well, the long and short of it is crossplay is fully available. This was answered during the Q&A. So this is crossplay as well as cross progression. So if you're familiar with like Diablo Immortal, where you have your phone, you play on your phone, you're like, oh, let me get on the computer. You put down your phone, you get on the PC, and it's the same character, same spot, same account, same progression. It is the same thing for Diablo 4. You can now do that on PS5, Xbox, PC, whatever platform you're on. You can take your same character and work across. However, keep in mind that the Diablo 4 beta will not actually transfer. So any of the work that you've done in the Diablo 4 beta, making your characters and testing the game out, that will not transfer to the new live game. The beta itself is separate, meaning the only progression you're actually getting is you're receiving right there, you're keeping this wolf pack puppy, which will be on the live. But any of the characters you make, the character creations, etc., how they look, the progress you've made, the items you've achieved, when the game actually launches, you'll need to be starting over. If you do want a leg up when it actually launches, do keep in mind that if you purchase the Digital Deluxe or Higher Edition, you will get up to 4 days early access before the launch of Diablo 4, meaning pre-ordering is better than getting the KFC Double Down sandwich if you want access, because you're both get the beta access as well as when the game actually launches. If you have the Digital Deluxe, you get 4 days early access to Diablo 4. We all know 4 days on an MMO is insane. Hardcore grinders are going to hit in-game before people even pick the game up. If you finish the prologue, you will also receive a title from playing through the beta as well, which will carry with you into the full game. A couple points I want to point out here is the co-op communication will be enabled during beta, meaning both text and voice communication will be enabled during the beta. Keep in mind, this is actually an MMO. So if you're familiar with Diablo, you're probably used to single player, party-based type of experiences. This is an MMO. You will run into other players playing this game, and you will be able to communicate with them. Another point to point out here is if you're going to be playing on controller, they've been putting efforts into trying to making a target lock available on controller to be able to make accuracy of actually aiming skills on controller a little bit better than it was prior. And I think this is an interesting point too. The crafting system is more of an in-game system in this type of game. Instead of making it where it's just you start the game and you just craft all your items from the start, essentially it's more of the MMO style where the in-game item modifications, enhancements, etc. come from the crafting skill. Now, a lot of the people that are employees and some of the heads will be playing Druid. There's a lot of Druid players. I myself am also going to be playing Druid. Now, they have some details they break down the mechanics here, but Druid has a really cool boon mechanic, which is effectively you unlock up to 4 boons, which if you have on all 4, you can unlock a 5th boon through these spirit animals that you're effectively giving these items that drop when you're slaying monsters. You're rewarded to these spirit boons, or these spirit animals. They give you the boons. You get all 4. You choose 4. You then get a 5th one. The 5th one looks like it's not going to be available in beta because it's more of an in-game thing. It'll take too long to get there, but that's effectively how the Druid's going to work with the boon system. They also mentioned that the Return to Darkness is sort of their model for this game thematically, both in color palette as well as lore, voice acting, etc. They're really trying to keep it more of a darker looking game. So that way, if you're actually playing the game, it is much more similar to how you would think the Diablo experience would be. Instead of, seeing all these bright colors and everything, they're trying to keep the color palette a little bit darker. That's why if you've heard some of the feedback from the beta, etc., people are like, man, the game is really gray. That's on purpose. Something else to address is there is PvP in this game, and as an MMO, people are wondering because there's PvP in this game, and Immortal was a thing, is the PvP going to be pay to win? This is something they've gone out of their way multiple times to state. It is supposed to be cosmetic only, so even the Battle Pass, where it has like bonus experience in it, is only grindable. You can't purchase the levels and then get those type of rewards. Very similar to how Immortal, when you purchase a Battle Pass level, you don't get the bonus experience that comes with that, and they're supposed to be following that same line of logic with Diablo 4, and there is absolutely none. They try to be very clear about this, and hopefully they're going to stay to this when the game actually launches, and we're going to have to see. But they're saying that there is no pay to win in Diablo 4. You can't buy items in the game. You can't buy resources. None of that's supposed to actually be happening. It's supposed to be cosmetic only. So if we take them at their word, that's what it is. We'll see when the game actually launches. Now, for me, I've got about 700 videos here, and most of these are on Diablo and more, though. So when Diablo 4 comes out, I'm going to be taking the time to take a break and try out D4 through the beta weekend. So you're going to be seeing me live streaming Diablo 4. I'm also going to be having videos, guides, all of the stuff that I'm already doing for Immortal, only I will be covering Diablo 4 this time and seeing how it's going. Won't be dropping Immortal because there's still 3 months between when the beta ends and when D4 actually fully comes out. And then I'm going to use this beta experience to really go hard and see if it's the game for me. I could love it. I could hate it. I don't know. But what I will tell you for a fact is that the Druid looks pretty good, and I'm mostly excited about getting my hands at the Druid at the moment. So long and short of it is either buy the game on the pre-order or eat a sandwich, get your beta code, then decide which of the 5 classes you're mostly interested in playing, get to level 20. That way you get yourself this wolf pack and the title for the game. After that, decide if you like the game and decide if you're going to fully dive into it come 6/6/23 when the game actually fully launches. Pretty much all you need to know. Pretty simple. I will see you guys inside of Diablo 4 as well. You can like this video if you liked it at all. You can subscribe if you want to, and I will see you guys in Diablo 4 or in the next Diablo 4 video. Love y'all.